Welcome back. Week 3, DGNYC. We haven't quit. We're still here.
We're still here. We're still winning.
Yeah, big.
Bigly.
Is that my friend Hugh Bigley on the other line?
Hugh Bigley's in the chat. He didn't want to say anything. Hugh Bigley wanted to stop it and just say that he can't believe that he could finally divorce his wife and go live on a beach somewhere.
And
So
this
Hugh
is
Bigley's living the dream.
this is the power broker speaking.
Unbelievable weekend for the break even boys. I mean, just Frankie said he loved the board last week.
I love the board.
I was tepid. And what's kind of weird is we do these picks on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like before the injuries come out, it's before you really have a chance to see it. So it's like picking on a Wednesday is so much harder than picking on a Saturday.
Yeah, some of those games I picked on Sunday. The lines came out instantly, and I was like, I love the board.
And it's so weird because like we pick these games, and then like all week you sit on it and marinate. But I mean, Frankie, do you want me to go over last week really quick? I think it's going to be your first victory lap, and it's a big victory lap.
You texted me a nuclear strike. You said this
a tactical nuke dropped by Franklin Don.
It's getting to the point now. Last week was so crazy that both my dad and my dentist were like, I'm thinking about starting to gamble.
That's all we're here for.
Yeah,
we're
shout out my dentist.
Build the next generation of degenerates. I mean, it was like when you're playing COD back in middle school and you're just like running around the map and you're crouching. They just say like tactical nuke incoming, and you're like, oh, that's just Dimes picks just coming from the air.
Oh, you're like, oh man, what is that? Oh God, is that Colorado? Oh, no way. Is that a 14 money line parlay? Oh my God.
Let me go through this last week because it was an absolute heater of heaters.
And then I'll tell you what happened off pod because it was even crazier.
It was a hot weekend. So let me go back. Frankie Down's quick recap. People love the recaps.
Yep.
Frankie Down started the week -2 units. Spoiler alert, he didn't stay there for long. Purdue money line plus 2.4 units. He had James Madison loser. Who cares? Marshall -1.5 2-unit winner. Utah -7. That's a push, but pushes as good as a win in some communities.
Yep.
Rutgers, Utah, Mizzou, Notre Dame, moneyline parlay. That's 2 units. Colorado -2.5. Straight up, never in doubt. 2 units.
Never in doubt.
He went up. He's now up 5.4 units on the year. So a $1 billion better would now be able to, I don't know, buy a pretty decent NFL team. So maybe if you weren't a coward, you could own the Washington Commanders. Think about that.
So. Why don't you? Because you had lost in all of this is that you had a pretty successful weekend yourself.
What's insane was we went in a combined 8-2-1.
That's
so
nasty.
For us to go 8-2-1 means I can only lose one game, which I did. Rutgers -9.5 win. Maryland over 37. I think they scored 38. I'm just sharper than the number, not a big deal. Texas A&M -1. Didn't really like that pick anyway. Don't know why I gave it. Notre Dame -3.5. Under Bama 63.5. 2-unit winner, and then Colorado. That was a unity synchronous.
As a certified syndicate lock.
We decided. I said I'm going to ride you on that. Pause. But that was an 8-2-1, 11.4 unit weekend.
If you were $1 million better, you would make $11 million if you used our picks this last weekend.
And you can take that 0.4 and pay Uncle Sam what he's owed.
This is true.
That was an absolutely electric weekend. 8-2-1. We are both in the black right now.
Yeah, baby. We're one of the best podcasts in the country. And we don't, and it's partially on me, but we don't promote it enough. But like, we're pretty sharp.
Yeah. For picking on a Wednesday, you think Frankie's up 5.4 units. I'm up 9.65. So we are up a combined. Let me do the math real quick.
Yep.
Let's call it. We're up 15 units, which is insane. So not a lot of pods. Go look at your guys that give their free picks. Go look at the ones that actually keep track. Look at the other pods. Are any of them up 15 units right now?
We're doing better than cover 3, and we love cover 3.
We love cover 3.
Yeah.
Let's have him on the show one time. Throw him a bone.
Bud Elliott. Shout out. So you see this sheet?
I see it. Looks like a lot of W's.
It is a lot of W's. I had it folded up nicely like a Mike Leach play card, RIP.
Right, rip.
On this sheet that I carried around with me in Greenville, North Carolina all weekend was just tracking picks like manually. Because I was at the game at East Carolina, seeing our friends. Wish you were there.
I wish I was. I want to get into that story after this.
I texted you 2 picks on Saturday morning. They were a 2-team parlay of Wake Forest. That was the team total, it was Wake Forest -6 and the over. That hit.
Winner.
And then I texted you, I want Holy Cross plus 9.5.
Winner.
That also hit. Lost on all of this, folks. I hit an 8, an 11, and a 12 leg money line parlay.
More legs than a fucking centipede, kid. Unbelievable.
I netted off pod, documented on my Pikkit account.
Go to the Pikkit.
49 units over the weekend.
Peter North huge.
That's insane. I'm
not
not gonna tell you my unit, but I won a good amount. I paid rent this month over the weekend.
In New York City. Okay,
in New York.
He's not paying rent in some podunk Kansas town. He's paying in the Big Apple.
Yep. But it was an awesome weekend for picks. I told you I love the board. I'm a little bit worried about the board this week because I feel like Vegas is coming back with vengeance.
This is not to cut you off, but this is not a great week for football.
No. Oh, the schedule stinks.
This is an apple picking week. This is a take your old lady out week. There's not a lot going on.
Yep.
I think I struggled to find games I liked. It felt like a lot of the games, the teams that I like are either off or just playing FCS or garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the Colorado minus 2.5 had something like 98% of the public money and it cashed easy. So
we'll take that.
Vegas isn't doing that 2 weeks in a row. So
no,
this is where we need to be safe. But before we go into the picks, can you tell the folks about your travel adventures? Our new probably podcast sponsor, was it US Air?
My American.
Our new podcast sponsor.
So I have a gripe with American also.
They've angered a powerful man.
Yeah, and I got all these units to back it up.
You know it. Now you're coming with a briefcase.
Yeah. We're putting it on the table. Talk about negotiation tactic. But so I'm flying down to Raleigh, North Carolina to pick up my Tesla that I rented because I'm huge.
You are huge.
And we fly down to Raleigh. We circle the airport for 45 minutes, and then they divert us to Greensboro due to weather, which is an hour away. Mind you, my best friend and gambling consigliere, Sambo, is in the plane behind us, flying from Cleveland. And guess what? They landed at Raleigh just fine. We're in Greensboro, and they tell us because it was a weather issue, it wasn't. Because it was a weather issue, we are not liable for your travel to your destination. You have to figure it out on your own. I go to Hertz. I say, Hertz, I have a rental car an hour away. Can we get that changed to this airport? He goes, we don't have any cars, and also we're closed right now. It's 6:00. And so that happens. And then this nice couple was like, we live in Cary. It's like 20 minutes away from the airport. You can ride with us. We'll give you blah, blah, blah. I declined respectfully. I took a $100 Uber to Raleigh Airport to pick up my rental car where I met my friend Sam. We took the Tesla to Greenville, an hour and a half away. Had a great weekend. On the way back, I have a flight at 7 a.m. in Greenville, a flight at 9:30 a.m. in Charlotte, and then I land in Columbus, Ohio, right? I get to the airport just fine. Everything's all good. I'm stuck on the tarmac for an hour on Sunday in Raleigh. My plane leaves at 9:30. I land in Charlotte at 9 a.m. and I'm sprinting across the entire airport. They're calling they said final call for group 9, the last group, my group, as I pull up to the gate. And I barely get in. And then I get to Columbus. My mom picks me up. I have a great weekend. And then I just flew back today. I'm beat. Like, all my life, I've wanted to be a touring comedian. I don't know if I have it cut out in me.
You don't think you have it?
I don't know if I do.
I'm not going to pretend like it didn't hurt when you called him your best friend, but that's okay. We're going to move past it.
He is my best friend.
It's okay. People need to know that people listen to the podcast of friendship and picks. So it's like
you weren't at the men's summit.
I was currently trying to move my life, so couldn't be there. But
what jersey are you wearing?
I'm wearing a red Peter Wark jersey.
Who?
Peter Wark.
Peter what?
Wark.
Wark? Warwick. I don't know who that is.
Hold on. Peter Wark. You're gonna look really stupid whenever you Google it.
Well, he sounds like a porn star. Hold on, I got to get this thing out of the oven.
Oh, yeah, Frank's got his pizza. That's fine. I'll take over while you get your $15 bodega pizza out of there. But so basically, what Dimes has been saying is, so he went to ECU last week, and to everyone that's trying to catch up, went to ECU, went to the boys' trip, bunch of travel delays. I am currently booking for like 6 guys on this retreat. So I'm Saturday morning, my phone's lighting up with dudes trying to get picks in. And I don't know if you've ever booked for 6 people. The Venmo requests are electric. You're trying to get all these picks in at the same time. And what's funny is, all of our friends are asking, what picks do you like? What picks do you like? And I'm like, if only we had a gambling podcast where you could have listened to all these winners. And then they text me like 2 days later and like, oh, I couldn't get that number. And, I bet this other one. And then they lose by a point or 3 points because the line moved. If anything we've learned is whenever we give these picks out, you got to hammer them because that's the one advantage to betting earlier in the week is you can get some softer numbers. Like a lot of these, like I could still get Florida at 7 right now. It's probably going to move towards 6, 6.5. That's a little spoiler, one of my future picks. But I think that's going to be pretty much like one of the biggest things we take away from what I tell people is whenever you hear these picks, I know you're not going to rush. I know you're not rushing to download it, but if we're giving a pick and you're deciding to tail, it's better to get it at the number we like than to wait and get it at a different number because nothing's worse than losing by a half point, anything like that. So I know, like I said, over the weekend, I had so many people text me, they lost the Alabama under that I gave them because they couldn't get it to that 63. They were stuck in the 50s. So that's my little ending note that when we give you a pick, we get at the number that we like. Don't wait till Saturday.
Don't wait till Saturday because we move lines here.
We're moving some.
We move lines. I think there's a line that I moved today.
After a few more weeks like this, I think Vegas might be calling us, setting some numbers, setting some traps.
But aside from because you weren't at the men's summit,
I wasn't. Was not.
Do you want me to explain what it was like going to the East Carolina game, and then you tell me about your weekend?
Give him a quick shout. I'll take him inside the game.
East Carolina was cool. It's a stadium and a venue that I've always wanted to go to because I love their fan base and their logo, and I just feel like it's a cool school that doesn't get a lot of notoriety. The students were students, and I'm never going to be like, the students were mean. They're kids. I'm not going to be mad. The old people were awesome. I think a lot of those people remember when the Marshall plane crash happened because there's a unique bond between ECU and Marshall because that's the school that Marshall played on their whenever the plane crash. Like they were on their way back after playing ECU in the plane crash. And then so there's a big memorial at the stadium like here is that. But so a lot of the older people remember that, and they like have this like they're very, very nice. And then you have the people that probably are pipe fitters and work for like local 448 or whatever, and they're Carolina country dudes like through and through. They do not care about the plane crash. They will probably bring that up in as a point, a mocking point. And the thing is they're not students, so I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. I ran into a couple of these people. You get the classic F you, F Marshall, and I had to like the amount of times I was like, I didn't even go there. Like, one time this guy was like, F you, Marshall, and this guy behind him who was an ECU guy was like, hey, no, we don't say that. Come on, Marshall, let's get out of here. Like this guy was like trying to usher me through the crowd. But the weirdest interaction that I had, mind you, most of the interaction was fine. I would go back again. I probably wouldn't wear other teams' colors, but I'd go back again. I'm in line to buy a shirt. I love the ECU logo. I love the state outline with a pirate in it. I think that's so cool. One of the coolest logos. And I'm in line to buy like a shirt, and I don't see a shirt with that logo on it. And this guy behind me had a polo with it on, old dude. And I go, I'm trying to find a shirt with, do you know if they sell shirts anywhere else in the stadium? I'm trying to find a shirt with that logo on it because I think that's one of the coolest logos in sports. And he goes, you want a shirt with this logo on it? I was like, yeah, man, I think it's really cool. I have always had a soft spot for ECU. I think it's really cool. And he goes, I don't know, man. And then the pipe fitter guy shows up, and he was like, I know he's cool because he's got that purple on. I don't know that you're cool because you got that green on. Marshall, why do you have that on? And I was like, oh, I'm here visiting my friend. He's a doctor at ECU. I didn't go to either school, but I love college football. And he goes, I don't know about that, man. I was like, well, I went to West Virginia, and I remember ECU and West Virginia used to have some battles. And he was like, well, why don't you take that off then? I was like, what? He goes, take that shirt off. I don't like it. I want you to take that shirt off. And I go, you want me to take my shirt off? I was like, why do you want me to take my shirt off? Kind of like grinning. The whole time I have a smile on my face because that's my defense mechanism is to be nice and smile. And he was like, you buy that shirt, why don't you take it over there and burn it? This guy wanted to rip a shirt off of me because I asked if I could buy an ECU shirt. And people don't understand that you can just be a college football fan.
That being said, I wish I was at the West Virginia Pitt game because I would be starting all types of brawls.
That's different. That's a documented rivalry.
That is true. That is true.
These teams are not even in the same conference or the same state. It's a non-con. It's a non-con.
That is true. That'd be like Akron coming to West Virginia. I think better not wear them colors around here.
That's literally what it was. And I love the fact that Marshall also I had to leave at halftime because a hurricane set in.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Marshall trounced him. So good on you. Because this kid was like, "Aren't you guys bad at football?" And I was like, "Well, Marshall's 1-0 and ECU's 0-1. So
Scoreboard kid.
there's that." But that's how that went. It was a great time with great friends. I got bit by fire ants a couple times, and I got stuck in a monsoon. Other than that, I love North Carolina, so I had fun.
I saw you laid up in a bed with one of our other friends. That was, what was going on there, but I'm not here to judge.
I know you were jealous, and I'm sorry about that.
I was a little jealous, and I knew I could have been the big spoon there, but that's fine.
How was your weekend?
Uneventful. I watched some football. I literally watched. I gotta say, shout out to my girlfriend for just letting me
Okay.
sit there on the couch for 10 hours both days and just watch football.
Are
I
you being
ignored
held
her.
hostage right now?
No, no, no. I ignored her completely. At one point, she left to go do something, and I didn't notice for like an hour, and she said bye to me, and
Oh,
I just like,
wow.
so she was like, "Hey, I'll see you." I was like, "Cool," and all in all, first weekend together, vibe check, letting me watch 20 hours of football over 2 days, pretty good. Won a bunch of money.
Yeah,
To tell you the dumbest thing I did this weekend. In hindsight,
sure.
I thought I was big genius. Watching the Bills Jets game, and this is why we're not an NFL pod.
Oh,
We're
we're not NFL. I had a bad NFL day.
an NFL pod. I'm watching the Bills Jets game. Aaron Rodgers goes out. Whatever, sucks. I'm not a Jets fan. I don't really care. Hope he comes back next year. But he gets hurt. I immediately now a normal person would be like, oh my god, the Jets season is
Oh,
over.
no.
I can't believe this. But me, I immediately fire up the iPad. I'm like, what is the best Bills money line I can get? I
No.
dark odds, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, there's a Bills minus 185 out there right now, and I'm hammering it, and it goes to minus 220, and I'm hammering it, and it goes to minus 275, and I'm hammering it, and then Zach Wilson comes in and throws a pick to Matt Milano, and I'm hammering it. It's 13-6. It's halftime. It's 10 o'clock. I'm tired. I got to work in the morning. I'm like, you know what?
This is a winner.
I'm going to bed a winner. I'm like, I got to bed. And like I just like look at her. I'm like, I just made the greatest financial decision of our life. And I'm like, and then I wake up and I get like the Pikkit alert, and it's like, and I'm like, well, I won all these like little like same game parlays. I was like, cool. I was like, oh, the Jets must have hung within 7. And then I open up my phone and I see that the Jets won in overtime. So apparently Zach Wilson, the MILF hunter, led him all the way back. And, you know what? Like I was a 47-year-old divorcee, he fucked me. So good on him. Bad on me betting pro football, and I'm back to my true love, college football.
It's the best sport in the world, and that's what the country Hicks and ECU didn't understand.
Them North Kakalaki boys aren't with it.
They didn't understand that I just love the game.
We love
Dumbest decision I did over the weekend was staying up till I had to leave our friend's house in Greenville at 4 a.m. to make it to the airport by Raleigh because my flight was at 7. It's an hour and a half flight, 6, whatever. Check the rental car in. I stayed up till 1:30 watching Oklahoma State, Arizona State, because Oklahoma State, I had them -3, and then I had them as, and then they were 2 legs in my 11 and 12 leg parlay, and I had to see that come through. I had to see that come through.
I don't blame you one bit. I don't
But,
blame you one bit.
yeah, that's the dumbest decision I did over the weekend. Are you moving again this weekend, or what's your status?
I'm done. We're done.
You look like you're in the. You look like you're in a closet again?
My recording studio. I mean, my state-of-the-art recording studio.
Oh, is that the same closet from your old house?
No, different one.
Oh, you just record in the closet now.
Like.
Oh, sorry, the studio.
The studio. Sorry, I'm in the studio.
You're gonna have to staple some like McDonald's drink holders to the wall, like they did in Hustle and Flow.
I'll just put some there. I'll be like, oh, them lemon peppers coming. I'll just like say that every 5 minutes, like I'm in the studio.
You should. That should be. If you were a producer, I think that would be your DJ call out. Those lemon peppers coming.
Get them lemon pepper flats. But
Oh,
let me ask you, because the people have been texting me. They're saying I'm following all these picks.
really?
People love the bullshit. People love the talking, the broad talks, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get to why we're here and let's give some winners. Believe it or not, how are we gonna do this? You won more last week, but I'm still the overall leader. So who gets to go first?
I think. How does it work in golf? Is it who wins the hole or who's still winning? It's still who's still winning.
I think so.
So you're up.
All right.
But
So
I only have 5 picks this week because I really don't like the board.
I got 5, and I got a lot of weird picks, and I'm gonna have to repeat mine.
Do you have any? Do you have? Can I ask you this?
Yes.
Do you? I think we're aligned on one pick.
Okay.
Is it more than one unit. Do you have any picks that are more than one unit?
I have two unit plays today.
Put the one that I know is the same one as me last.
I doubt we have the same pick, but I think we have the same game.
Okay.
I doubt we have the same pick though, but
I thought we wanted a certified syndicate lock.
You'll see. I think you're going to hear this pick and you're going to like it so much you might flip. So we'll see.
Okay.
But
Okay. You go first.
I'm going to start with my boring pick, my normal one. This is my just, pick that you could go up to the window, say, give me number 193 and walk away. That's
Okay.
Toledo -7, 1-unit play. I've been thoroughly impressed with Toledo.
I have not.
I like how they played Illinois. I like the offense. I like San Jose State coming across the country. Do we have a fight?
We don't have a fight. I don't have anything on this, but I'm just saying I do get your point about them going from west to east. I do get that point. But okay.
I like the Toledo, and it's a night game, so you're not getting the 1:00 game, which you like with these East Coast. But give me Toledo. I think San Jose State has just been beat up. Now, they played good teams, but at a certain point, this attrition of playing these good teams every once in a while, getting beat up and then going to play a pretty tough MAC school. Give me Toledo -7. That's just a 1-unit play.
Wow.
But that's the one straight up game on the board where I thought that should maybe be a little bit higher, and that's usually what I've been doing.
Okay. I like it. Here's my first pick of the week. It's the hold your nose pick of the week. Okay. It's Western Kentucky catching 28 against Ohio State. That is a road game in the shoe, tough environment. But Ohio State and Kyle McCord has not impressed me at all on offense. And I understand Western Kentucky likes to play fast. So if you get down behind early, that might be an issue. But Western Kentucky has the ability to score. I still think they're going to put points on Ohio State. So I like the fact you're catching 4 touchdowns there with a team that is documented good at scoring versus a team that has offense issues and Ryan Day's anemic offense.
How the Ohio State offense has not exploded yet is unbelievable.
They have Marvin. Oh my gosh, these receivers are crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you still have Henderson. You have all these guys all over the field, and it seems like Ohio State every week at halftime's up like 10-3.
Yeah,
and
then Ryan Day comes out and is like, "It's the clock. The clock rules are messing." That's what the issue is.
Those 5 plays, and that's a 1-unit play.
That's 1 unit on the tops. Top me off.
Give me that top and braid my hair. All right, I got Clemson first half -13.5.
This is disgusting.
I'm doing the opposite. Clemson has been one of the, I wouldn't say disappointing, but just one of the more
it's disappointing.
Underwhelming teams. And what I think is, like anything, you're looking for a hot start. Dabo all week for 2 weeks has had to defend his program up and down. If he can't get these guys to score, to beat Florida Atlantic by 2 touchdowns in the first half, you can just call Clemson dead. We can fade them all year.
Okay.
So this is more of a prove it to me game for Clemson. Say what you want about Dabo and the anemic offense. They should be able to bully their way to some points. Okay. I think this is a 24-0, 24-3 first half. I think Clemson's defense is going to swallow up FAU, and 13.5 first half. I think that's a good play. Clemson over 17.5 in the first half. I looked at too. But I like that Florida Atlantic could surprise with a couple 10 points, but I think they're easily covering that 13.5. I've been really good on these first half numbers, but give me Clemson first half -13.5. You can get it for plus money right now. It's plus 105.
Okay. My last pick was -110. This one is currently -110, or at least it was when I got it. That is 1 unit on over 10 points in the first quarter, KSU and Missouri.
Okay. That is a fun stat. I know we were talking about Colorado. Last week, 98% of the public was on Colorado. So the Mizzou Kansas State game, 95% of the bets are on Kansas State -4.5. So if you're looking for a trap game, I was looking for Kansas State. That's it. You're looking
I have Kansas State.
Do you really?
Yeah. Add them to the card. One unit -4.5. I watched and my reasoning is
okay.
I watched all of the Missouri Middle Tennessee game.
Yep.
The only reason Missouri won that game is they got bailed out on a pass interference call late. Like in the fourth quarter, you get the first down, you can take knees. They did not deserve the pass interference. Rick Stockstill was hot. Like he cracked his headset on the sideline for middle. Like Missouri did not totally deserve to win this game. And Eli Drinkwitz just has like it in his body to only go 6-6, and he's already won 2 games. So I think he's due for a blowout. He's due for a blowout.
So you're taking over 10 points first quarter. and
Yes.
you're taking K-State minus 4.5.
Yes. I'll be right back.
All right.
You go
So
ahead.
I'm going to give my pick while Frankie goes and takes his organic, hippie, gluten-free, soft, liberal, elite coastal pizza out of the oven. Well, what Frankie told me is he bought a pizza. Okay, he lives in New York City, which is the mecca. I don't need to tell you, it's the mecca for pizza. And instead of just walking, I don't know, 800 feet to any pizza shop where you could get a pretty good slice, or maybe walking a couple blocks and get a great one, he goes to a corner store and buys a $15 frozen pizza. Maybe he's got the money to play around like that. Maybe he's just such a coastal snob that he won't eat anything that doesn't come in a fancy box that tells him how much, how superior he is to everybody. He's not good enough for a working man slice. That's what it sounds like to me. But that's why we have to take this quick break, or why I'm just sitting here biting air, is because Frankie has to go rotate a $15 pizza. But the pick that I'm going to give it off air so he can't poo-poo it or tell me why I'm a loser. It's App State, North Carolina, Wisconsin money line. I've been so impressed with this App State team. They gave North Carolina all they wanted last week, and that's going to go into my next picks. North Carolina, Minnesota. I just can't get over Minnesota. I don't really like them. I don't think that team's built to stay with the scoring with North Carolina. And then Wisconsin money line, Georgia Southern. Wisconsin, tough Washington State team last week. I think that they're definitely due. They're a minus 1,000 pick. That was a throw in to get the juice at plus money. But App State, North Carolina, Wisconsin money line, triple money line parlay. It's plus like 103 right now. That's a one unit play.
So that's what I missed is your App State, whiskey, and
North Carolina.
Who's North Carolina got this week?
They got Minnesota.
Okay, that's a win. That's a win. Minnesota can't keep up with the scoring, like you said, probably.
Wisconsin's got Georgia Southern and App State.
That scares me.
Scared of Georgia Southern?
Yeah. Gasso, Clay Helton.
I'm not worried about them.
Okay.
I'm not worried about. I think my Wisconsin boys get back on track. That was one of my big preseason.
I had the over. I had the over in that one.
We did, and we got App State taking on your ECU boys. So App State.
Yeah, I watched ECU, man. They can't throw the football, so App should be fine. They had in the first half they had no passing yards. I think they literally had none.
No, and that's my 1 unit triple money line parlay. So a lot of games, but I think I don't think there's any trouble with whiskey. I don't think there's any trouble with App State. And as long as Drake May stays upright, I think North Carolina takes care of business.
Okay, I gave you 10. Sorry, it says we have 10 minutes left. I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4. I gave you 4. How many have you given?
No, you gave me 3. You gave me WKU over K State and then K State. You gave me 3.
Oh shoot. Yeah, you're right. This one you had a little Mac pick. I got a Mac pick. Curtis Rourke is back, folks. He's back from injury, and Ohio is catching 3.5 at home against Iowa State, who's not very good. They do have a one standout player. I forget his name, which is in dynamite analysis by me, but he's a receiver. He's actually been pretty all right for them. But Iowa State, I don't believe in their ability to keep up with the power that Ohio has. And I'm happy that Curtis Rourke is back, the Maple Missile.
I think a lot of Iowa State guys listen to the pod. At least I believe it.
Yeah, I believe that too. Gamblers, documented gamblers. That should be our team, honestly.
Honestly, we should be on Iowa. If anyone from Iowa State wants to come on the pod and give us a few tips, we'd be happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Maybe quarterback's like a little gimpy.
But yeah, I really like the Bobcats at home this week.
You got it for 1 or 2 units?
1 unit, and I unfortunately got it at a bad number. I got it at 3.5, but it's minus 120. Too much juice. But
okay, you gave so much positive.
We gave so much last week.
We can give a little Welch's back to the community.
Here
is my first 2 unit play, and I love this one. Florida plus 14.5, Mississippi State plus 14.5. Teaser pleaser. Actually, it's not even technically a teaser because it's plus money. 2 unit play, Florida plus 14.5. It's a hold your nose pick. Florida, Tennessee. Everyone see Tennessee's offense.
14, bro. Florida stinks.
Bump it up to 14. I think Florida, actually, if we're doing, I've been pretty hot with these money lines. I think last week, last week, if you looked at the Pikkit, my 2 money line picks were Rice and Cincy. They won outright.
Yeah.
The week before it was Duke, Florida State, and Wyoming. My money line pick this week is Florida. I think Florida wins it. I don't think Mertz is great, but I think the physicality of Florida is going to slow down Tennessee enough to keep it in the game. But 14.5, juicing that number up, obviously, I think it's good. Mississippi State, I think LSU and Mississippi State are a lot closer than.
I think I agree with you there. I think LSU is overrated.
And I had the decision: do I want to tease LSU down? You want to tease Mississippi State up. I think Mississippi State potential to win that game. I think LSU does, but I think it's by a touchdown or less. But give me the extra security blanket. 14 plus Florida plus 14.5. Mississippi State plus 14.5 in Stark Vegas. That's a 2-unit winner for sure.
I love that. My 2-unit play. I'm sure Yinzer has a pick on this game. Yep. It's the best game of the week. It's a shame it's not college game day. It's the backyard brawl. It's West Virginia Pitt. And I have 2 units on our hometown Mountaineers covering the 1.
Yeah.
I just took the 1 because their money line was minus 104, and I figured get the 1 point of security as opposed to whatever.
I want to give my next pick, and then we're going to talk about the brawl real quick, what we think is going to happen. So,
okay.
My final pick, this one's going to be, you're going to have to set it up on FanDuel because you're going to have to do a same game parlay with another game. But you can do that on most.
Yeah, you can do that on DraftKings too. It's the same game parlay X.
Same game parlay X, remain on top but stay in the underground. Let's go. Penn State over 24.5 points.
Okay.
That's happening. Penn State money line. That's happening.
Okay.
West Virginia over 2.5 touchdowns. That brings that same game parlay up to plus 135. That's a 2-unit play. So,
wow. You think we're going to score more than 2 touchdowns?
I hope, I pray that we score
3 touchdowns.
Over 2.5 touchdowns.
Hey, they can come anyway. Fake field goal, punt return, pick six.
Doesn't matter how they come. But, and I also looked at, the Pitt over 2.5 touchdowns. Actually, they're both good bets if you can stack them together on the same game and pick it.
The reason I have reason as to why the Pitt scares me.
Let me hear it because those are all my plays. Those are all Frankie's plays.
No, the Pitt, not the pick. The Pitt touchdowns. The Pitt touchdowns.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick recap and then we're going to talk about the Pitt West Virginia game real quick.
Yeah, please. Let's do it.
All right. Frankie Dimes, Western Kentucky plus 28, 1 unit. Over 10 first quarter, K-State, Mizzou, 1 unit. Kansas State minus 4.5, 1 unit. Those are separate picks.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio plus 3, 1 unit.
3.5. It's the hook. I got the hook.
Give them the hook. And 2 units on West Virginia minus 1.
Plus 1.
Yinzer baby has Toledo minus 7, 1 unit. App State, UNC, Whiskey, Moneyline Parlay, 1 unit. Florida plus 14.5, Mississippi State plus 14.5, 2-unit play. That's probably my favorite play of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson first half minus 13.5, and then Penn State over 24.5 with Penn State money line, and the West Virginia Mountaineers over 2.5 tutties. That's plus, I think plus 130 is what I got it at 2 units. But we got a couple minutes. Let's talk about
5 minutes.
Let's talk about the West Virginia Pitt game. What is your prediction? This is not a pick prediction. What do you think happens?
I think that it'll be low scoring.
Okay.
Phil Jurkovich has not proven the ability to pass the ball, and the offensive mindset of Pat Narduzzi has not proven to wanting to score the ball. No. West Virginia's game is running the football. It bums me out that we just have a receiver issue because I don't even know if Garrett Green's arm is that bad. I just don't know if we have receivers that can get open.
We had our best player last week was a guy, not a redshirt guy, but a walk-on.
Yeah.
He was our best player. He got a scholarship.
That scares me. I know Trelon Ray's injured, but that scares me that Rodney Gallagher and Trelon Ray are not the pop-out freshman guy. It's Hudson Clement, which all props to him. I'm happy somebody's stepping up, but where's Devin Carter? Where's Preston Fox? The receiving core scares me.
This is probably, and the reason. Give me a number prediction. Give me your final score prediction right here.
Man, these games are always close, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna say you get your wish, and I'm gonna say it's 24-21. Good guys.
Okay. I cannot believe how bad the secondary is for West Virginia.
It's bad.
They allowed 17 to Duquesne, and Duquesne was flying all over the field. If you don't know where Duquesne is, I'm from Pittsburgh. Duquesne is the stadium holds less than most high school stadiums in Western Pennsylvania.
It's sad.
It's a 2,000 capacity stadium. Duquesne is the soccer team used to kick the football team off the field to practice at Duquesne. It is not a big time school. That's an honest to God true story. I've seen it happen. That's not a big school, and they scored 17 points on us. Pitt, whatever you say about him, the offense, obviously maybe look at game against Cincy. It pains me to say, I think the final score is 35-24 Pitt Panthers. I don't believe in our Mountaineers this year. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
This is a Neil Brown gets fired game if he loses. Maybe not right after.
I don't think if it's close he gets fired. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think that. I hope we win. I hope
Neil has an opportunity here because there's teams in the Big 12 that stink now.
Yep.
He's got an opportunity.
And what's kind of funny is they said after the rain delay he passed off passing or passed off play calling
To
200
Chad. Yeah.
Scott, and the offense actually looked alive. But I think we get over 2.5 touchdowns. I don't think Pitt's defense is very good. I don't think Pitt's offense is very good.
We
I
get
don't.
that if we get that push on the O line, man, we could run all night.
That's what the plan is, where they just run it down their throats. Jurgovich makes a few big mistakes, and we take advantage. I still think we get to over. I think we get over 2.5 tutties in the game,
Yeah.
but I don't know if the secondary holds up. I don't know if Neil Brown's conservative play calling holds up, and I don't know if the overall team talent holds up.
Right.
I don't think we have this.
Our punter was in a walking boot. Don't like that.
Yeah, well, he might be needed a lot, but this is the game. I'm excited. I want my Mountaineers to win. I was so bullish on them last year, and I think I've been pretty even keel on them this year. I think I was right on both games.
Yep.
But I think it's a loss for the Mountaineers. I will be pleasantly surprised. I will have my blue and gold on all day Saturday rooting for it.
Of course.
But I don't have any faith in this team, and they don't have the overall talent. I don't think it's a will thing anymore. I think it's just pure skill.
Pure talent. I mean, dude, the secondary stinks, and Miller's going to be out for a while. Montrez Miller's going to be out for a while, so that hurts us at corner. It just like we said, the secondary, because we have decent, like there's a quality guy at each level.
Yeah.
I love Lee Koba. I love the linebackers, and I like our D line, Sean Martin, and then they got this guy from Kentucky that's been playing pretty well, but I don't know, man. I don't know enough about the Pitt offense as far as playmakers go. The only thing, just because the biggest story is Phil Dracovic.
Yeah,
like that's the only, like, I don't really know, like, is there like a receiver we should look out for? I just don't know.
He's a big enough talent that he can exploit it, but I think Mountaineers go down, but I think we're gonna have another winning weekend. Dimes, any last thoughts?
Let's go Mountaineers. Let's go drink some beers.
Hell yeah. Cheers, beers, Mountaineers. Hopefully Mountaineers by 1 billion, at least by 21 points.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Night, everybody.
We'll be seeing you. Bye.
Peace.